You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 10th meeting for the Long Beach Town Council. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Welcome
Recording in
everyone.
progress.
Welcome everyone to the March Town Council meeting in Long Beach. Let's stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May, could you do roll call?
Sure. President Schmidt,
Present.
Anita Runges,
Present.
Kendra Bartlett,
Present.
Colleen Lane,
Present.
Cindy Levy,
Present.
Chief Swistek,
Present.
Attorney Willoughby,
Present.
Clerk Collins, I am present, and that concludes roll.
Thank you. My only opening remark is we should have on the agenda tonight the second reading of the tree ordinance. And so I'm going to add that back in to unfinished business. Okay, approval of the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the council meeting minutes from February 10th, 2025.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes from February 10th, 2025. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed?
Do we have to, do we have to do roll
Do we
call?
have to do
Roll call.
Joy,
Aye.
Anita,
Yes.
Kendra,
Yes.
Colleen,
Yes.
Cindy,
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the special council meeting February 19th, 2025.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes from February 19th, 2025, special council meeting. I'll second.
Any discussion? Meg, you want to take it?
Joy, sorry,
Aye.
Anita,
Aye.
Kendra,
Aye.
Colleen,
Aye.
Cindy,
Thank you. And finally, I'll entertain a motion to approve the special council meeting minutes from February 24th, 2025.
I'm gonna let Colleen take this one.
I'll make a motion to approve the special council minutes from February 24th, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion?
Joy,
Aye.
Anita,
Aye.
Kendra,
Aye.
Colleen,
Aye.
Cindy,
Okay, thank you, everyone. Public comments, limited to 3 minutes. Do we have any public comments on Zoom?
7 people on Zoom.
Not seeing any. Do we have any public comments in the audience? Okay, no public comments. We'll move on to committee reports. Police Department, Chief Swistek.
Good evening. For the month of February, the police department responded to 289 calls for service when compared to 216 calls for service in the previous year, for an increase of 73 calls. During the month of February, 13 incident reports were documented. A total of 8 individuals were arrested, 1 felony arrest for resisting arrest and possession of methamphetamine, 4 misdemeanor arrests for operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated, 2 misdemeanor arrests for driving with a suspended driver's license, and 1 misdemeanor arrest for resisting law enforcement and public intoxication. Earlier in the month, I had shared also with the town council members information relative to the number of traffic stops that we performed throughout the month. The increase in February, as noted, 73 calls, greater than the previous year. We attribute a lot of that to our officer-initiated activity. Our officers have been doing a great job in locating suspicious vehicles that are often found in our town. And I used one example most recently where 2 individuals with a past of drug history were located on Lakeshore Drive, driving through our community. The driver was suspended. He was from the South Bend area and has priors for breaking into cars, breaking into homes. So when our officers spotted the vehicle that night, the individual pulled off into a driveway on Lakeshore Drive to try and evade our patrol. And our officer did a great job of just waiting down the block, turned off his lights, waited for the car to pull out of the driveway, got behind the car again and did the same thing on Chesterton Drive near Hacienda. Eventually he had a reason to stop the vehicle, and upon stopping it, he learned all this information that they were just looking at Christmas lights in the month of February. So obviously they missed the Christmas holiday, but Deputy Vopat did a great job citing them and sending them on their way, and probably prevented something from happening in the town that night. So I just want to commend our staff. They do a really good job, especially on nights, paying attention on their patrols. Aside from that, I have nothing additional to add from the police department side. There are no major concerns to pass along, and we will have a police commission meeting later this month.
Thank you. Town Administrator, Chief Swistek.
Couple of things just to update everybody on. All staff are currently going through performance evaluations. So the department heads, the supervisors are meeting with their individual employees and doing performance appraisals for the last year. Those are due by April 15th. Building improvements at the community center. We'll touch on a couple of things. Our ongoing improvements are ongoing at the community center. Room 12 was painted. Room 12 has received new carpeting, and also we added a new vanity and sink in that room as well. And we've received many compliments about that. It turned out quite well. We also have quotes for new carpeting in the courtyard room and also the small room leading into the courtyard. I shared that today with everybody for consideration for an upcoming project. There was a new drinking fountain installed at the community center. As you come in, the single door leading back to the YMCA on the left-hand side, we put in a drinking fountain that also has a bottle filler on it. Here in the council room, new carpeting, you'll see it was installed 2 weeks ago. Along with the room was completely decluttered and cleaned, and we're very happy with the way this has turned out as well. We're just waiting on the AV equipment. We'll have the new AV equipment installed in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Today, Janice Brown, Ellen also were present. We met with some of the landscapers to discuss future work for the town hall and across the street, relative to getting the landscaping back to its normal condition for the summer months, and also getting the irrigation repaired. The plan for that is to get at least 2 or 3 quotes for the irrigation and for the landscape work, and have it before the council on April 8th. At your April 8th meeting, we would ask that the council then make a decision moving forward on those quotes that we'll be receiving. Park Pavilion across the street. Last year in the fall, we noticed that it's in need of some repairs. The supporting columns, at least 2 of them have some issues over there. So we're waiting for Larry Wall to meet with us in the next week or so to give us his opinion moving forward as far as what we need to do to make some repairs to that. And then we'll seek some quotes and work with the park board on getting the repairs done before that gets any worse. Big thank you to our public works team, Tom Dolph, Chris Hollyfield, Greg Parrish, Austin Ashcraft, for all the countless hours of overtime plowing on the nights and the weekends. There was very seldom a time that we had to call Tom and the crew to let them know the roads were icy. They were already here and attending to our roads. So Tom does a great job paying attention from home, and comes in and calls out his crew without even the police department having to notify him most times. So a big thank you to the 4 of them. They did an excellent job. Hopefully we won't have to see the plows out for the rest of until November. CCMG, we met last week with Reith Riley, Superintendent Jordan Hampel. They look to begin our paving project in the first week of April. What that will entail is a lot of the dry wells, the stormwater work, so you won't see actual paving going on, probably the first couple weeks in April. I would estimate before they start laying the asphalt roadway, it'll be late April, early May. We've asked them to address St. Lawrence out back as one of the first roadways, because we want to get that done before the parade and also before the busy summer. The goal is they would like to have a lot of this done before Memorial Day, but as we work with their superintendent, we have a meeting tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We have a pre-construction meeting with them and Haas. So once I get more information, we'll share it on the website. We'll also send out an email blast to all the residents, and then the council will receive information on the paving as well. February 25th, we hosted one of our first classes out back. It was a Glock Armorers class in the new public safety building. We had 21 law enforcement officials along with 15 police agencies that they came from. So from as far away as probably the middle of the state, they drove up to attend this Glock Armorers class. For us hosting the class, we received 2 free spots in the class for both of our firearms instructors, which saved the town $800. So that was a nice bonus of us hosting it, and we received a lot of compliments about how nice our facility is out back, and it went quite well. Today I shared with you the, I know it's a ways out, the July 4th fireworks contract from the Long Beach Civic Association. Just wanted everybody to take a look at that. They just sent that today for information. And then lastly, the tennis courts will be cleaned in the next day or two. We'll get all the leaves out of there. I spoke to Tom this morning, and he has a plan to get the tennis courts cleaned up yet this week. That is it.
Thank you, Chief. Volunteer Fire Department, Dave?
Yeah, it's just.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone.
This isn't going to work. Sorry, I was trying to
You'd be
do
in trouble.
something.
You give me, you're
Sorry.
all set, and,
I know, I'm sorry.
all right, let me get, okay.
Sorry.
This is the report for the fire department for the first 2 months of this year. On the fire call side, we stand at 8 calls year to date. That's in comparison to 11 last year. So the good news is it's a drop. We had 3 calls in the month actually, and one was a natural gas situation, and then 2 false alarms. And the trailing 12 year-to-date turnout of members per call still stands at 8. On the medical side, we are calls year-to-date at 23 in comparison to 11 last year. And we had 14 calls actually in the month of February. Two respiratory, 4 injuries, 3 sick persons, 2 unconscious victims, a potential suicide, lift assist, and a medical alert. And the average turnout of members for medical stands at 5. Our response times still are holding at about 4.3 minutes for both fire and medical. And I'm not sure of the date, if it was March 1st or the Saturday before that. The fire department put on a CPR class, and we certified, I believe, 20
March 1st, yeah.
March 1st, 21 individuals, and I thought that program went very well.
Yes.
Before the meeting, Joy gave me this notice. It's about Indiana physicians' orders, and it's ironic that she received this, and I think someone from the community mentioned that maybe this should be, brought to the attention of the residents, and we're sort of doing the same thing. I'll tell you a little story. We had a medical call, and it turned into a family member doing CPR on an individual. So CPR had started, and when we arrived, if it has been started, it has to continue. And we continued to a higher order or authority, the EMS comes in. And another family member said, there's a DNR, do not resuscitate order. And one of our members said, why don't you go get it? And so when EMS arrived, they said this is not a valid DNR order. It's a living will. And so what happens, you continue CPR and you take it, to the hospital. But one of the people in the room was a doctor. So he got on the phone with the medical director for the EMS and they talked through it. And they then decided after that conversation to stop CPR. The reason I bring this up is during a call like this, it is so chaotic. Emotions are just through the roof, and I totally understand. And I had sent something to Mark and Kayla, and thinking about maybe if there's a way, we have a form, and Joy, this form sort of it does the same thing, but the form that we have that they're saying is the appropriate form is for resuscitation outside of a medical facility. And so I know it's not a fun subject, but I think we need to make people aware in the community. And we were talking, Kayla, about maybe doing a first responder newsletter where we just put things out and have a little section about this. And once again, it's a terrible thing to talk about. But in the meantime, when someone believes they have the capabilities of stopping CPR and the government, EMS, our department says that's not a valid document, it's a terrible thing. And so I feel we're going to try to get the word out, but it's that day it was okay. But as I say, when we have a full arrest, you're putting family through enough headache, and then say we need to have a different form. This isn't acceptable. So, but when that happens, we just have to continue CPR until someone of a higher authority takes over. So I just want to give you a little of that information, because if we see it, I'd like to have you in a newsletter. I'd like to at least have you aware that, oh, that's what Dave talked about at one of the council meetings. So that concludes my report.
That goes along too with addresses. I know we talk about that often, like how you have to find a house, and fortunately many of you know many of the houses, but that doesn't mean you know all of them and where to get fastest.
Well, like me, I know the houses of the previous two owners.
Right.
The current owner, the Albert's house, right?
Yeah.
But no, you're right, Anita, because, and I wish I knew where the house, I remember where it was. They had outstanding numbers. I mean, well done. I thought this is it. But at night, when there's a call, I'm hoping that we will at least have a porch light turned on. And sometimes that's not the case. And all that does is just delay the time. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Dave, I got one question. Does a shorter form exist
Yes.
that's the proper form?
For the
For
DNR
DNR.
component, yes.
And we could,
It's like one of these, if no, go down to this, but I have that, and I think I sent it to Kayla too. Did I send it to
I
you?
believe it's a state form, and
Right.
Kayla was going to provide a link to it and then send it out as well, so everybody will have the form as well.
okay,
Has
great.
she already done that, do you think?
Not yet, no.
We were gonna put together,
I think she's gonna send out the Springtown newsletter
Yes.
this week, and then this sensitive topic that we're discussing, that'll go out in probably the next couple of weeks.
Because with the high season approaching, you probably want to put things out in the community about, first responder related items. And so I think it would be, a well-worded piece would be appropriate. Thank you.
Madam President, can I add to that as you contemplate this to maybe put a disclaimer in there that you're not providing legal advice and that they should seek counsel, make sure they understand the import of that document, so I can, if I reach out, we'll talk about it, but definitely don't want to say this is legally valid, but here's a form that's generally acceptable.
Okay, thank you. Public Works, Kendra?
We did not have a meeting, so I don't have a report.
Park Board, Kendra?
Park Board, nothing new to report there. They're still working on quotes and things like that for the tennis courts and pickleball courts. And Sarah Plooster is on board helping get the new camp director acclimated. And so we're thankful to have her able to help us with that. That's it.
Thank you. Community Center, Anita?
Community Center met March 3rd. What Kendra just talked about, the camp dates are set, so camp will be meeting. We have dates reserved June 13th to August 1st. Kayla met with us. If you don't all know Kayla, she's Swiss Tech's administrative assistant. She is meeting with all the departments, but she met with the community center on Monday to get information about updating the website. So we were able to answer most of her questions. She's also going to try and include information from tenants. So always more and more and more information for the residents. I don't know, she also talked about possibly doing a donation link button for the community center for improvements and also to preserve the heritage of the community center. Even though there have been, in addition to the improvements that Chief talked about, the ADA bathroom is well on its way to completion. The Beach Garden Club will be also taking care of planting in the newly restored planter boxes in front of the community center. And we still are looking for photos. We're asking the community to see if anybody has photos of the original, I call them eyebrow windows, but they're not really. Transom windows, I'm trying to think, the windows above the main entrance. So they would like to restore those to what they were, but we haven't been able to find any photographs yet, but we continue searching.
Is that it?
That's it, thank you.
Thank you. Budget and Finance, Meg?
Yes. Budget and Finance met on March 5th, and the annual financial report was submitted in Gateway on February 28th. That's our state reporting each year, and it's a deadline. And it's been noticed in the paper on March 6th. And then a copy was posted to the website under the financial section. And then if the council members could take one, please. Actually, I'll keep one for Cindy. And then council members are also receiving a copy tonight. The February bank recs are completed. Financials, including revenues and expenses, I can send those tomorrow. I probably should have already sent them, and then fund projections and the capital plan will be sent later this week. I did confirm with Trista that Senator Dalton has started the water rate study, and it should be completed sometime next week, is her goal. So I'll keep you posted, and we'll let you know when I receive anything to go over with her. The next budget meeting will be held Tuesday, April 1st at 11 a.m. We did change our day and time from Wednesday to Tuesday, and we're starting at 11. So, any questions?
No, thank you.
And then Human Resources met on February 19th, and the committee continued review of the handbook and explaining some items to our two newest members. And then that's Cindy and Beth. And then I would like to thank Mike Consett for his input and time on the committee. He has stepped down now, so the next HR meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, March 19th, beginning at 1:30 p.m. Thanks.
Thank you. Tree Board, Ellen?
The tree board met on Wednesday. We discussed a few things. Maple City has finished all the trimming and removing of all the trees as of February 27th. Everything was taken out except for 2 stumps that were interrupted by walls, so they weren't able to do that. And we also discussed the town spring newsletter, and we have gotten all our stuff together. Our resident editor, Janice, has put it all together and given it to Kayla, so it will be in the newsletter from now on when they come out. And the tree board will just be a part of that. And she's come up with a contest, along with the largest, she wants to do a largest tree in Long Beach, and she's got the information and how to go about doing it, and Kayla loved it, and there's gonna be a QR code, and, you know, we'll announce it probably in the fall newsletter. So always something else she can add to her agenda. So anyway, this was all her idea. Also, we discussed the streets and intersections in need of clear sight lines like we did last year. We updated the list. We took off the ones that you did and we added some others. So always something. So I have copies of that, and I think you would want one. So I actually really try to get addresses and everything. I might be able to know where all the houses are soon. So here's one thing. I always feel like a teacher.
Is it the largest tree or the largest diameter?
Well, it's a largest tree. She has it.
I know she has.
She has it. You have to do the circumference.
Okay.
Then you have to measure out, so you can measure the height. You know, it's a whole deal. So, and then if we do it, we do have one. I guess there's a contest in the state of Indiana that she wants to see if we do this and we have something that we could submit it. We might have the biggest tree in Indiana here. Who knows? Other than that, that's
Does it depend on the type of tree?
no. It can be any kind of tree. It doesn't. It's just the largest tree. So it doesn't matter if it's an oak or whatever, whichever ones are the biggest. It's just we want to know which is the biggest tree we have.
Okay.
So we'll probably, I'm sure she'll want to go through the town and find a big one that's on public property, so maybe we'll win.
I know where there's some big cottonwoods.
Yeah.
Get them before they're gone.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so that's it.
Thank you.
Any questions or?
Okay, Building Commission met on February 14th. The new software seems to be working well. Permits approved were 2528 Lakeshore Drive for a new home, 2520 Shorewood Drive for a pool, a hot tub, and a plunge pool, 1922 Lakeshore Drive for moving sand on their own property, 2117 Lakeshore Drive, completing a deck, 2104 Lakeshore Drive is a new deck, 2135 Avondale, office above garage, and 2617 Lakeshore Drive, a new second floor and a kitchen addition. Permits denied, 3028 Mayfield Way, because they had landscaping and a pool that they want in the front yard, and they will be going to the BZA. Any questions? The BZA meets this Wednesday, and they're having a preliminary hearing for 3028 Mayfield, who wants to put a pool in their front yard. That's it. Any questions? Okay, thank you. APC, Anita.
Advisory Plan Commission met on February 17th. We didn't have a quorum, so we officially had a meeting, right, Chris? But we
Just
didn't
conduct.
really have any official business. Thank you.
Meg, Building and Revenue Report.
For February 2025, there were 13 permits issued totaling $1,298,062 with revenue of $13,740. There were 5 electric permits issued totaling $801 and 1 street cut permit with revenue of $100. Legal expenses paid in February to Brady Nelson and James were $56.25. Accounting charges paid to Senator and Company were $3,891.55. And to Corey Young Group LLC, $6,250 for the lobbyist. And I would ask for a motion to approve.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Roll call vote. Joy?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Kendra?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Cindy? Aye. Thank you.
Okay, unfinished business. First, we'll do the second reading of the tree ordinance. Ordinance number 2025-02, restating the tree ordinance under Title 9, Chapter 99 of the Long Beach, Indiana Town Code. I will say that it has some typos and some word changes that Chris is going to make so that everything's, matches everything in the town. But other than that, I would make a motion to approve.
I would second the motion.
Any discussion? Meg?
And then that's with the changes you discussed. So will those changes be prepared tonight or will we sign later on?
They will probably send it later on, because
Okay,
we don't have a word, I don't have a word version, so.
okay, so that would be with approval, but it won't be final until, okay. Okay, roll call vote. Joy?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Kendra?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Cindy?
Thank you, everyone. Committee and board openings. We still have 3 openings, one on the building commission, one a 3-year term on the APC, and an opening on budget and finance. Colleen, I know you were talking to John Yoder, perhaps. Any interest?
Yeah, he was interested, and I sent him the information, and I guess I didn't follow up. I thought he was gonna email you. He didn't email you.
No.
Okay.
I haven't heard from him, but yeah, if you can
I'll
check.
follow up with him again. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I will follow up with John tomorrow.
Do you want any openings posted on the website? We haven't done that in a while. Would that be
Both
helpful?
building and budget and finance.
It would be helpful, but wait till I hear
It's very
from
interesting.
Colleen about John,
Alright.
Okay,
and then
yeah, just let me know and we can do that.
get it on the website. Okay. Thanks, that's it. Notre Dame St. Patrick's Day 5K Color Run, March 22nd. Chief, do you have any info on that?
I do. This is an annual event hosted by the Notre Dame School and its associates. We have no issues with the event annually. We're looking for approval from the board to allow them to have their 5K rug walk through the community starting at 8 a.m. Typically, we wrap all the festivities up on the roadway by 10:30 a.m. And between the fire and police department, typically, along with the Michigan City Police Department, handle the event quite well. So I'd recommend that we approve.
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Roll call vote. Joy?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Kendra?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Cindy?
Okay, thank you, everyone. The report from our lobbyists. They've been working really hard for us this year. And we've got 3 bills that we're really watching. The first one is SB 1, which is very important to the new governor, and it's about property tax relief for homeowners. The thing we were worried about was it will decrease our revenue, our tax revenue for the town. They had been working on it, and making amendments, and my understanding is, I think Anita sent me an article this morning.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yes, the governor is not at all happy with anything that they've amended in SB 1. So he's having them strip the whole bill and they're starting over. That won't come out of the Senate until April, the end of April perhaps. There's another bill, HB 1461, authored by Representative Pressel and sponsored by Senator Kreider. This concerns the potential loss of community crossing dollars for Long Beach because communities that have a population that are less than 5,000 are not allowed to adopt a wheel tax, and their new bill would hurt us desperately in the community crossing area. So we're working towards an amendment to HB 1461 in the Senate to clarify what happens to smaller towns. And the third one, SB 355, Chris's group is meeting with Representative Schmaltz, the sponsor of the bill, on Monday to discuss a potential amendment grandfathering Long Beach's staggered council elections. And if they don't do that, they'll report back next week after the meeting. But if they don't do that, then we'll all be here until 2028.
Congratulations.
And I have no complaint with that, but,
No parole.
yeah, parole. No meals either. That's it for the lobbyists.
If I could add just one thing on the wheel tax, it does look like, after speaking to some of the county officials, that LaPorte County is going to have to institute the wheel tax, which Long Beach residents would have to pay because we are in LaPorte County. However, it's still unclear. We probably won't see any of that revenue, but the county would get the revenue. So I just don't want anybody to be surprised in the community if you see a wheel tax. It didn't come from this board, it would come from the LaPorte County Council, which, you know, will obviously have to follow the bill if it went past. So.
Thanks, Chief. Haas and Associates LLC proposal for approval 2024-2 CCMG Street Improvement Project Administration Inspection and Grant Administration Services. I think everybody got a copy of the document. I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Roll call vote. Joy?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Kendra?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Cindy?
Sorry.
Thank you. Haas and Associates LLC invoice number 08 for $46,270.23 for payment approval on the 2024-2 CCMG grant application, PAM INDOT HSIP grant application, design and bid services.
That was a mouthful.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Can I do one question? I should have asked Mark this earlier and forgot. Is there usually overtime on these? And
Sometimes, I think on this particular one, I can clarify with Sam, he was under the gun to get a couple of things completed, because they had two of their staff members recently resign. So I think he's been burdened with quite a bit of work. So
Okay.
they had to meet the state deadline of getting everything in by, was it March 10th, I think was our, or not 10th, I'm sorry, April 10th, not February 10th.
okay,
So, I'm getting ahead of myself. So.
okay, thanks. All right, that's motion in a second. So roll call vote. Joy?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Kendra?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Cindy?
Thank you. The Tower Point Acquisitions LLC, their letter of intent to purchase our cell tower. Chief, you
I can share some information on it. So we typically are contacted by Tower Point. The last time we heard from them was back in July of 2023. And the prior administration, the prior council, had given consideration to the one-time lump sum payment of $170,000 that was offered to the town. The most recent proposal that was shared with all of you is for a one-time lump sum payment of $165,000. And that would be for Tower Point to take over the monthly lease revenue that's generated from our cell tower that is located on town property across from Hacienda at our public works facility in the woods there. The previous council at the time when they had declined the offer. Currently, we receive $931.70 a month. As I shared with all of you, the only benefit to accepting such a proposal would be if we were to invest it and make 4% interest. Obviously, we'd be gaining more each year than what we currently gain. However, over time, we would lose, the lease payments that we do receive currently. So if there was any questions, I can help answer those. I have spoke to representatives on 2 different occasions prior to receiving this proposal. And I believe Anita's doing some math for us that can help as well.
I have one question. When it says the escalation of the current one is 10%, over how long?
Yeah, and I don't know, I have to inquire. They did say that it is negotiable. If the council was to show an interest, we could invite them to a future meeting, have future discussions, and maybe have another proposal sent to the council. So, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we make about, it takes us probably, 13 to
I think it's
14 years.
13
Yeah, we
years.
make a profit for 10 years and then it's all theirs. So
The only
It doesn't make
downside,
sense.
Why would we want to sell?
I think they just offer it to cash. My opinion, this is up for discussion, right? Yeah, I'm against this, giving up anything that the town currently gets revenue for, because we can get revenue every month for the rest of our lives. And we would only kind of gain a profit for 10 years if you do the math on this, and then it's all theirs, just like, the Chicago Skyway got sold to a private investor or whatever. So I think, in my opinion, they just offer these to whomever around the cities, and whatever town is cash poor at the moment grabs the chance at it, and we are certainly not cash poor. So I don't think this is a good deal for the town at all. And I think that's why we all rejected it in 2023 too. But yeah, the quick math, maybe a little off, but basically for 10 years, we get some money, and 10 years goes by like that. But for the rest of Long Beach's existence, then we would not get any revenue. So definitely not a good deal for the town, in my opinion.
Is there maintenance cost attached to this? That was what my question, so would there be any way that we would be out of pocket? We would get our monthly amount, but is there any maintenance that would come up that, I kind of looked through it, that we would have to be responsible for, that would reduce our monthly payments?
no, we don't have any maintenance currently on
Okay.
the lease with the current, I think it's Castle Point. So no, there's none currently, and I did not see any in that.
I didn't either, so. And how long it would be there? I don't know what the life expectancy is, or when we would not need a tower. Technology is clearly changing, right? But I don't know when we would not need it, but how do we weigh that to say we better take the money, but in 10 years we might still have the same tower there and we wouldn't be getting the assessment or the lease.
Okay.
I might follow up with Chris and or Mark. We've been getting the same lease for many years, right? Same amount, and
And we have a
Are we-
contract that was extended, and I apologize, I don't have the years in front of me. The last time that we renewed that lease, I think it was under Bill Cheney.
yeah, I'm just wondering what they pay, cell usage, and everything just continues to go up and up, so.
Yeah, I wonder
Just comparing to what their other areas pay for those cell tower leases, I don't think it's been increased. I could talk with Chris maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe, Ben, do you want to send it to everybody and then have Chris take a look at it and see if we have any leverage when it's up for renewal, to have that discussion?
Yeah, I don't know enough about it, honestly, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's probably
Our
up.
due diligence to investigate it after all these years.
Good idea.
So I would suggest we hold off on this until we do that investigation.
No, I think, can we just vote to deny it? And, because doing the investigation is separate. I think Meg's saying that we could separately look at this, and instead of getting $931 a month, maybe we can increase the lease and get $1,200 a month. But regardless, I think I don't want to need to investigate this any further. I don't ever want to sell it to anyone. So
I'm okay with that as well. I
yeah.
don't ever want to sell it either. So do you want to make that motion?
Sure, I'd like to make a motion to deny the offer by Tower Point Acquisitions to purchase the cell tower. So I guess the motion to deny the purchase.
Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion to deny the Tower Point purchase.
Any further discussion? Okay, Meg?
Roll call vote. Joy?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Kendra?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Cindy?
Thank you. McKenna and Associates Professional Services Agreement for the Comprehensive Plan. Anita?
So the Advisory Plan Commission has been meeting for several months, and our most recent comprehensive plan was accepted and adopted by the town council in November of 2016. I think that there's common wisdom that comprehensive plan should be updated within 8 to 10 years, and it is a lengthy, time-consuming project. We met with a representative of McKenna, which was the group that did the comprehensive plan that was adopted back in 2016. He was very helpful at the meeting. It is not just a rote book of information. There will be town meetings. There are different options that we will come up with that we think might be important to the town. It could be the tennis pickleball courts. It could be the signs in town. It could be the logos in town. It could be a variety of things, but there will be town input. There will be emails. There will be surveys. And they have provided a contract. And after we met with the representative, we were very impressed with the fact that it would not just be a rote comprehensive plan where things would be put into a computer. They did extend a contract that is the same as their proposal, and that is for $14,500, and our clerk treasurer has identified those funds, and those funds are available. And Chris, you have a few items.
Just add that it's acceptable as to form. Other than, I would suggest that you pass it subject to adding some of the same provisions we usually do, which are remedies type provisions if in the event there's litigation, recouping costs and those kinds of things. But otherwise acceptable, and I don't think there will be anything objectionable.
So Chris will be in touch with the company.
Or I'll send it to you.
You'll send it to me, and we'll be in touch. And that will just start a process that was done, again, probably 10 years ago at this point. And the town will be well aware, especially with Kayla in charge. She'll be making sure people are well aware. So I would make a motion that we accept the proposal of McKenna Associates for $14,500 to proceed with an update of our 2016 comprehensive plan.
I'll second. Any discussion? Meg?
Joy?
Aye.
Anita?
Aye.
Kendra?
Aye.
Colleen?
Aye.
Cindy?
Well, thank you. Civic Plus Town Website Migration Update. Is that you, Meg?
Sure, yes. So Mark, Kayla, and I met with our representative with Civic Plus, which is our current website we've had for probably 6 or 7 or 8 years. The initial meeting with this rep went very well. We got a lot of information, and we also attended a webinar last week that gave us more insight into what a new website would look like. Our current website will no longer be serviced come this November, so we have been, a migration has been discussed for probably 3 years from Civic Plus, them kind of promising us improvements and an even more robust website, and it ended up that the software they were trying to use isn't as great as they'd hoped. So they've changed gears, and what we've seen we really like. For us, to move to the standard package that they would offer, which is just the migration we've been promised, would cost us no money. So it would probably look a little better than we have now even, but also be very similar for Kayla and myself to manage. The other option would be to upgrade to a premium package for much cheaper than what they would charge a new client. So that's because we are a current client and have been. The premium package would have more robust design elements and features. It has different modules such as texting our residents. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, if we have enough information that we need to be texting, but we definitely will keep our email blast capabilities that we currently utilize. I think I've only ever received positive feedback from the communication and what we can get to residents. So I think we will bring that back at a future date once they gave us examples that we're going to look at and just kind of pick out what we really like, and then the end decision will be if we just keep the standard or if we want to spend, it's around $1,500 extra per year if we wanted to do unless that was a one-time cost.
Then there is.
To build, yeah, so our cost will go up. I don't know if we know that amount yet. He did say it would be $15,000 if we were not a new customer, or if we were not a current customer, to do this premium package. So he is saying it will offer us, an even more robust website. Do we need that is the question that we're going to look into. So we're scheduled for a demo coming up to meet with the representative again, and we'll give you guys an update.
Okay.
So if anybody would like information as we go or to give any input, please let us know. But we'll keep you informed.
Okay. Thank you.
No, we're kind of depending on you and Mark and Kayla, right, to figure out what works best for you. And I know, the more comfortable Kayla's with it, you're very comfortable with it, Mark is, that,
I think just assessing what we actually need, bells and whistles can be great. I think what we have now can suffice, so we'll just determine once we kind of get more into it if we think it's worth it.
And the nice thing is Kayla's doing a great job right now going in, reaching out to all the department heads or the various boards and cleaning up our entire website for the migration. So we're getting ready so that when we do move over, that we're bringing over, good clean material for the new website build. 2 to 3 months was the timeline they had anticipated for their web designer to kind of build us out. 4 to 6 months for implementation. So I would guess probably third quarter at the earliest this year, probably fourth quarter before we even see our website up and running this year. Till then, everything else stays the way it is, website. We don't lose anything. It's fully interactive for our residents and other guests to use. But I am excited to see the changes. It looks very nice. The other cities and towns that they shared for us to look at, the website looks really nice compared to, we've done a great job with ours over the last couple of years as well. I think it's only going to get better. So.
Yeah, even if we decide to just keep the standard that they would migrate us to, I think is still going to be better than what we have currently, so, which will be nice.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Claims approval, Meg?
Yes, town checks numbers 21437 to 21513, totaling $238,622.93. Water checks numbers 55210 to 55234, totaling $179,220.95. February payroll was $84,192.77. And I would look for a motion to approve.
I will move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Roll call vote, Joy,
Aye.
Anita,
Aye.
Kendra,
Aye.
Colleen,
Aye.
Cindy.
Council comments.
The only comment I have is, Meg, thank you again to get a copy of the annual financial report within, a few weeks of when it was filed, and that it was timely filed, and that you got it done with Trista's help. I want to say thank you very much. It's just, it's the way it should be. It's the way that the financials should be done in our town, and it's being done, so thank you for that.
Thanks, Anita. Yeah, Trista came one day to help me finish up some of our public safety reporting, but I did have a successful year overall. And so it went better for me, last year. It was so early when I started, and it went well this year for me.
You did good.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
doing a great job, Mary.
Thank you.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Joy,
Aye.
Anita,
Definitely.
Kendra,
Aye.
Colleen,
Aye.
Cindy. Thank you. We are adjourned at 7:55.
Thank you, everyone.
Don't leave yet, Al.